I was on Hulu the other day. Now hear me out, because I don't usually make videos like this, but I have to share this one with you. I am a huge fan of true crime documentaries, love them. So I'm on Hulu and this one comes up of Scamanda. And I'm like, oh, what's this? Man, let me tell you, it is insane. So before I get started, I want to say this could trigger you because, some people are dealing with this now. Some people have loved ones that are dealing with this. It's a very sensitive topic. This woman scams people for 8 years saying she has cancer. 8 years. Insane. Let's get started. This is Trisha. This is Amanda's childhood friend from elementary school all the way into adulthood. And Trisha explains to us about how Amanda would lie in school.
I met Amanda when we were in 6th grade. She had just moved to Riverside. We were friends through 6th grade, middle school, high school, and through adulthood. I remember in elementary school, Amanda would make things up. Little white lies. They always made her seem distinctive in some way, but they were really inconsequential. So that's why it didn't bother us.
You can already see in Amanda that things were going on at a young age and nothing was being done about it. At the age of 17, Amanda is hired for a family of their daughter who's fighting cancer.
That's how she met Jamie and Jessa, as well as Alita and Alita's husband, Corey.
And then we were told that I had leukemia. So Amanda would come over and teach me and my cousin how to cheer and dance. A really fun time.
Just being that bright light for someone that's going through a rough time and helping out. Now, in the story, it never said why Corey and Alita divorced. It just says that Corey ended up leaving, and Alita explains that Amanda started going to Corey's house more often, and that's how the relationship kind of started. And a couple years later, they end up getting married. You're probably wondering, how did she get caught? Let me tell you. So 4 years earlier, she met this woman right here.
My name is Lisa Berry, and I am the anonymous source.
And this is what Lisa had to say.
One day, Amanda said she was in the hospital. So I picked Jess up from school to come swimming at our home, and Amanda arrived after the hospital. She came and she got in the swimming pool. She was having a good time, and she kind of turned to the side and she had a very small round Band-Aid behind her ear. So I asked her why she had the Band-Aid behind her ear. I was curious. That's when she told me that she had just had fluid drained off her brain in the hospital. She was coming from the hospital and she swam underwater.
She contacted this lady right here who works for the news company, and they investigate people that are scams. If it wasn't for her, she may have got away with it a much longer time. So as you can see here, in 2012, this is when Amanda started her blog, and this is what she named it.
I have Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's been quite the journey to figure it out. A 2-year journey, to be exact.
This woman went as far as literally going to a church, and the whole entire congregation believed she had cancer, to the point where she was on stage, everybody was donating. Another thing that blows my mind, because she literally gets up in church and this is what she does.
Fainted while simultaneously urinating on herself.
And you gotta be pretty ballsy to pass out and urinate on yourself just to make it be real, so people feel sorry for you. And one day, the pastor felt the need to do a personal donation just for them.
That pastor felt led in that moment, during that service, to do a love offering. Church this size, if each family gives $1, it can be significant enough to be a huge blessing to the Riley family. There was a tremendous amount of money left on the stage.
So truly blessed. Pastor asked to share my story, then followed it by taking a $1 offering.
And it was a $1 donation, and a ton of people came up and just threw money at their feet.
There's tens of thousands of dollars that I calculated over the years that were in-kind gifts, that were cash gifts. There were separate fundraisers that had nothing to do with the wire fraud.
I would see so many posts with pictures. There were all these different ways that people were trying to help make her life better.
She literally had celebrities, food,
Just anything that maybe will make her day.
As this woman over here,
I wanted to give back to her in a way that was meaningful and One thing that I had known about myself is that I had a high platelet count and I was a good platelet donor. I had a Team Amanda magnet. I brought this magnet each time I went to donate, and I made sure that not only did I take a picture of it, but everybody around me knew why I was there, who I was donating to.
And the whole time, this woman ain't got cancer, but she played it up like she did. You're probably wondering, how did she get away with this? 8 years is a long time to sit there and be like, what? Like, how did she fool people for 8 years? And she's got pictures and all kinds of stuff. She's really showing that she has cancer. And I mean, who would doubt this if you don't know her on a personal level where you're hanging out with her, you're going to doctor's appointments and stuff like that. The reason she got away with it is because this is what she was doing.
When you look at Amanda's blog, it really is hard to believe that she doesn't have cancer. Amanda was getting these pictures by going into the hospitals for different things, by going to the emergency rooms and hospital appointments, and she took advantage of that clinical setting.
I think it's incredibly sad, and obviously there is a mental disorder going on, because for someone to go this length of going to the ER and just faking and shaving her head, you know, going to the ER to get stuff. And we know that you can buy medical supplies, not everything, but there's a lot of stuff you can buy online today. So it does make it a little bit easier to scam people this way, which is super sad. They reached out to Detective Jose Martinez. Only that, they ended up calling a hospital that she said she was at, and this is what happened.
When I made a phone call and said, I'm just trying to verify whether or not this information in this blog is correct. Can you just tell me whether or not this person is a patient? If she's not a patient, we're not breaching a confidentiality.
Right. Which is the hospital that Amanda said she was at on her blog.
It was a cancer-specific hospital, and they said she has never been a patient here. She's not scheduled to be a patient here and never was.
They ended up contacting the IRS because for fraud. So Amanda received a large sum of money, and that's how they ended up catching her.
What surprised me is that it went on for so long, and the lengths that she went to fake the cancer. Thousands of pages of records that I went through. The allegation was that she was faking cancer and getting donations based on that information. And there was nothing in her medical files that showed that she had cancer, was diagnosed with cancer, or was treated for cancer.
When you look at all the things that Amanda did to convince people that she had cancer, you do wonder what kind of person could do this. Who was Amanda?
This is when it all starts coming together and showing that she's been frauding everybody, that she's never had cancer. It's all been a lie. But they continue to go on with it, even to the point where her husband says, you know, he's been there and he's witnessed it. But does that stop her? No. This woman moves away, starts being a teacher at this Christian school, and becomes a principal. And guess what she does? She tries to do it all over again and starts stating she has cancer once again.
Amanda was teaching, and then she was hired as a principal at a school called Pacific Point.
And then finally she admits that she never had cancer and she's lied the whole entire time.
She pled guilty. It was a relief because the truth came out. So I just felt this satisfaction.
So in this next clip, you can see the court documentation where she has gotten donations, how much money she got. Finally, she gets her day in court. You know, obviously it takes time because you got a lot of stuff to go through. But finally, her sentencing day comes, and this is what the judge says.
Considering the seriousness of the crime, there is no doubt this is a very serious crime. I have to further consider public safety and the need for deterrence. I do find the public to be at a significant risk from you. I do believe that this will happen again.
I will impose an upward variance of the guideline sentence, and I will sentence you to 60 months in prison.
I am so glad that the judge seen this, because at the end of the day, I think she would have done it again, because as you can see, she clearly did it again. She moved away, became a principal, and she started saying she had cancer once again. I know it's a mental disease, which this is what she has.
There are two conditions that are related. One is Munchausen and one is Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen means that you are faking an illness in yourself, and Munchausen by proxy means that you're faking an illness in another person. Oftentimes with individuals who have these patterns of deceiving large amounts of people for long periods of time, they really don't even know themselves outside of this type of behavior.
And we know it's a real thing. And unfortunately, it's sad because she literally got away with it for 8 years, and she played a lot of people and hurt a lot of people. 2024, Corey decided to divorce her. He says, I don't know what to believe with her husband. He was there. I know people can be manipulated, and not all husbands go with their wives to appointments, but you would have seen her sick, especially on medication, because we all know like chemo medication and those cancer medications make you sick, they make you throw up, so he would have seen the behind the scenes stuff. But he supported her for 5 years, saying that she did have it, and he was being supportive until she ended up going to jail. Then he decided that he was out and he wanted to divorce her.
She told me that Corey and her divorcing.
This is where she will be carrying out the remainder of her sentence, so it's probably a nicer place and stuff like that. But hopefully she learned her lesson, which I don't know, because Munchausen disease is a very big thing, and once you do it, and she got away with it for 8 years, who says she's not going to come out and make up some other crazy lie just to get the attention back? Because we are in a generation, a lot of people do stuff that shouldn't be done. I see it all the time on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, and it's really sad because people are so wanting to be famous and be liked and be known that people are doing things out of character. People are doing things that are just not okay. Tell me your thoughts on this whole documentary. If you watched it, it's on Hulu. Again, there was a podcast done about a year ago. If you watched the podcast, let me know what you think. And if you like this video, give it a like, share it out, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.